Why do you feel like you need a hero when you are experiencing narcissistic abuse, or what I call a um, conflict cyclone of victim villain interaction? Well, who is the hero? For someone who believes that you are a victim, the hero could be your pastor, it could be your parent, it can be the therapist, or even the lawyer. The hero represents an authority that you believe has power that you don't have. And where a lot of people fall into this trap, believing that they are victims, is because they have done a lot of work attempting to get their husband, and I'm speaking specifically to women when I'm talking about this particular issue. It's similar for men, but I'm speaking to women right now. After you've done everything you could to get your husband to behave the way that you want him to behave, after you have made all of the threats, after you have started withholding sex, after you have cried your eyes dry, and he still does not understand your pain, he still does not respond the way that you think he should be responding, then you become convinced that he is a narcissist. And then you go and you seek a hero to either make him change or to help you find the strength to face him. So the hero, yes, is often an authority figure. And one of the most dangerous forms of the hero is actually you. It is your alter ego, your Sasha Fierce, the traumatized version of yourself that was a little girl that had to take care of herself, a little girl that had to fend for herself, a little girl who was helpless and had nobody else to help her. You, in that state, had to become the hero. And what many victims don't realize is that when you end up in marriage and you have not gone back and given that little girl permission to be a child, when you have not gone back to that little girl and let her know that she doesn't have to fight for herself anymore, then that little girl shows up to fight for you. That little girl is the one that is destroying your marriage because you've been ignoring her. And she has become your hero. She represents your bravery. And what many people do, not realizing it, is that they summon her up by creating circumstances that trigger them into hypervigilance, into fight or flight. When you feel powerless, again, when you believe you're the victim, you feel like you're powerless. You believe that you're powerless. You have a powerless contract. So, because you have a powerless contract, you believe that you are a victim. So, what do you now do? You go to prove yourself right. You push the right buttons to give you the evidence of your victimhood, to give you the evidence that this person is the villain, and to create the survival, that tension, that stress at that level of survival that now summons your inner hero to come in and do what must be done to save you. Too many women are living at a baseline of survival mode, like every day. Like, if you think about it, you think about work, you think about the commute, you think about all the stuff that you have going on with the children, the community, all of the commitments that you've made. Your baseline is a stress level that's like constantly at the level where you're prepared to save a child from running into traffic. That type of adrenaline. You've become so used to living at that level of stress, that level of hypervigilance. It's like the regular room temperature setting for you. And you do not realize that you are creating the necessary conditions with your responses, even with the things that you've been asking your husband to do. You are creating the environment for your hero to show up. And you don't realize it because you've gotten used to being in survival mode. You've gotten used to having to protect yourself. You've gotten used to having to take care of yourself. You've gotten used to fending for yourself. And that's where too many professional women of faith live in secret, not knowing what to do or where to go. The good news is that you're not a victim. Anytime that you believe that you're powerless, because why? You can't control or manipulate this other person to do what you want them to do. That makes sense. No, you're operating ignorant of the law. When you believe you're supposed to be able to make somebody change. You're supposed to be able to make somebody do what you want to do. No, that's actually a violation of law. You're not supposed to control another person. You're not supposed to trick another person out of their choice. So now you believe you're powerless because you can't make somebody else help. If you're defining your power based on how someone else is responding to you, whether or not they do what you want them to do, you're deceived. It's really that simple. So good news is that you're not a victim. You were created in the image of the creator, most powerful force in the entire universe. You are his daughter. He made you to be powerful. You have power. You have been using your power the wrong way, which is why now you're looking for a hero, which is why now you're turning to an alter ego, a persona of strength, because you don't believe the true you has strength. And my dear friend, Keisha Ann Brown, she says it best when she talks about why the hero shows up. The hero shows up because there is a child who has not been trained how to skillfully navigate life, how to skillfully navigate negative emotion, how to skillfully navigate conflict, how to skillfully navigate not getting what you want. So your alter ego hero is showing up because that child still hasn't been trained. And I love Brown's teachings because it's ancient wisdom for modern times, really helping us understand that everything goes back to childhood and how much we were prepared for life. So if childhood was a constant state of survival for you, and you have not dealt with the child who had to fend for themselves, then chances are that child is showing up in your marriage, demanding your attention, demanding for you to protect yourself. Not safe, not safe, not safe. And embracing the truth that you're not a victim, you're not powerless, you're packing all kind of power, and it doesn't have to be the power of survival mode. Survival mode is not, it's not supposed to be a regular room temperature setting. It's not supposed to be every day of your life. It's not even supposed to be like once a month. Survival mode is, break glass in case of emergency. So getting out of survival mode is literally you becoming like, you're no longer the princess. I love Shrek, y'all. Princess Fiona waited for Shrek to come and save her from the dragon's keep. No, wake up, Sleeping Beauty. Look under your pillow, get your sword from under there, and go slay some dragon butt. Like, slay your fears, slay your insecurities, face the things that you've been running from. What are the things that your husband's been saying to you that you hate to hear him say? Is there any truth in it? And how can you go and face yourself and deal with that? You are worthy of love, and you are packing power. And there is work to be done. So, pick the person you want to work with, pick the program, go with whatever modality you need to go with. But the goal is to get out of survival mode. And like Tina Turner saying, we don't need another hero. We don't. You are victorious, made in the image of your creator. And the love that you've been waiting for is it's all boxed up inside of you, ready to be released when you take courage to live for real, to be your true self, and not the hypervigilant hero that has to save herself because there's no hero to save her. Be blessed and encouraged.